focus on sleep. Just do sleep good, and everything else is kind of like helps maybe, but like doesn't do nearly as much as sleep. And that's true for willpower, that's true for health, true for like all these things that we think are so complicated and there's so much involved. It's like just get the sleep thing, and then you can optimize the other stuff on top of it. But if you're not doing the sleep right, there's not really any point in trying to optimize. Welcome to the Willpower Podcast. All right, let's get into it. Another solo podcast coming at you. As has become kind of the norm, I got nothing. Yeah, we're going to see what happens. We're going to talk about willpower, and we're going to see what comes up, see what's been new for me this week. And hopefully there's something you can take from it. And if not, sorry. It's too bad. I suppose that's probably poorly reflected on me, but hey, hopefully we get something. Okay, so what's been going on this week? Let's talk about like simple stuff first. So I've been so obsessed with this simple. It's almost like not even worth, like it feels stupid. It makes everything seem pointless in terms of not everything, but all these like, all this extra talk, this entire podcast almost seems silly. But it's this thing that I heard Brian Johnson say that has been like really true for me lately, where he just said, focus on sleep. Just do sleep good, and everything else is kind of like helps maybe, but like doesn't do nearly as much as sleep. And that's true for willpower. That's true for health. True for like all these things that we think are so complicated and there's so much involved. It's like just get the sleep thing down. And then you can optimize the other stuff on top of it. But if you're not doing the sleep right, there's not really any point in trying to optimize. It's like collecting like pennies and nickels when there's like $100 bill, down the block. Like, why am I picking up pennies when I could walk down and get $100? So yeah, the point was like, if say you're struggling with eating late at night, or you're struggling with screen time, or not having the discipline to sit down and work, or go for a run, or stop at the gym on your way home from work, like start with the sleep. Like the first thing you ask yourself if you're struggling with those things is just, am I sleeping enough? Did I sleep enough last night? And the likelihood, like the truth is that it's most likely that if you're struggling with those things where like you want to do something, but you don't quite have the oomph to do it, you probably didn't get enough sleep. So start there. That's like, do that before you try anything else. Make sure you're nailing that. And I have, oh my gosh, noticed that 100%. This past week, my girlfriend was visiting, and I love her. We have tons of fun. Anytime we're together is a good day. But it was also very exciting to have her around, and I ended up not sleeping as well as I usually do, just because I'm excited and there's another person there and like all that. Like I just naturally didn't sleep as well. And I noticed it. It was like 3 days of just like, not like terrible sleep, but just slightly lesser. Or it was like we're doing something in the morning, so I have to wake up earlier, or we're out at night, and so I end up getting to bed later than usual. All these different components, these factors. But after 4 days of that, I noticed it. Like yesterday, I didn't want to do anything. I like got through my work with coffee in the morning. That was like the only thing fueling me through that. And then afternoon came and I just did not want to work anymore. I didn't want to do anything. I got myself to go to the gym and I was like, had to tell myself like, it's going to be just a chill workout. You can just enjoy it. You don't have to go crazy. So I got myself to do that. But like, I didn't have the energy. I didn't have like the extra push behind it. Like there's a difference between me going to the gym, or me going for a run, or me doing the work because it's part of the routine. And because I'm like, okay, I have to do this. This is part of my day. I do this thing. There's a difference between that and me being like, oh, I want to go to the gym today because I'm excited for what might happen there. I'm excited to like hit a new PR, or I'm excited to get a really good pump going, or I'm excited to meditate today because I've been crossing new thresholds and I'm really excited to like go deep and really enjoy the time. That's different than, yeah, I gotta meditate today because fucking that's what I do, I guess. And it's gonna probably suck and be boring, but I'm just gonna do it because it's in the routine. Those are very different things, different attitudes. My hypothesis is the attitude that I bring towards those things depends on all the different elements that lead up to it. And the biggest fucking element, smack dab in the middle, is sleep. So again, other things are important too. You can't just eat like shit and expect to be fine, or doom scroll all day and expect to be fine. But sleep is probably the biggest contributor to any struggles that you're having with willpower in general. And by willpower here, I just mean not doing the things that you want to be doing, or not being excited to do the things that you want to be doing, not achieving the results that you want to be achieving, not seeing the changes around you that you have been wanting. Nail the sleep first. The excitement, motivation, inspiration, that stuff follows. It's also a much, much shorter order. It's like being in this like low motivation state like I was in yesterday, and being like, everything's fucked. Like just feeling like for example, where I'm at, I have an app that has $0 in revenue right now. Like no paying subscribers. It's brand new in terms of the most recent release, but $0 coming in. Me having no energy sees that and goes, fuck, I am fucked. Me with lots of energy goes, okay, I have this fucking excellent product here. I have an awesome co-founder. We have a decent number of people that are trying it out so far, and we have a strategy moving forward. We have a plan. We're not fucked. We just have to continue on this path and maybe make some adjustments, maybe take a higher level look at what's going on right now. There's an excitement. There's a buzz to it. And that buzz is not because of the scenario or where we're at. The buzz is just because my fucking sleep went well. And when I'm in that low energy state, the point being, I don't see the outside. I don't see myself from the outside. I don't see that like, okay, this is just like a temporary state. So having this promise that's like, sleep well and that will change. Sleep well, like, yes, you're not motivated. The reason why, because you didn't sleep well. It's not because you're broken. It's not because your business is broken. It's not a reflection on that. It's not going to be like this forever. Like, you don't have to force yourself to work every single day. It will come naturally. You will actually want to do this if you prioritize the other things. First and foremost being sleep. So it's a lot easier. Like looking, when you're in that low energy state and you see that sleep might be the solution to this, and then you go, okay, I have a very simple to-do list. Get to bed on time tonight and don't do anything that fucks up my sleep. That's it. That's as simple as it could ever be. And that's the most important thing you can do for yourself when you are in that place. If you're getting poor sleep, the best thing you can do for yourself is to get to sleep at a good time. Sleep well. Prioritize that moving forward. First of all, once you start that momentum, once you sleep well, it becomes increasingly easier to sleep well because you notice it. Your body will notice it. And you will make that connection now because you're aware of it and you go, oh, I slept well and I feel amazing. I am going to make sure to sleep well tonight. And you will have lots of willpower, like we talked about. And it's going to be that much easier. So yeah, that really stood out to me. Again, it's like so simple and so basic and just like removes all of the need for this podcast or this extra stuff. But I mean, and to be fair, there are other things. The point being, the way you will be happiest is probably to start with sleeping well. Yeah, talking about willpower in terms of exerting will, bringing what I want to be into the world. Kind of a separate concept than what we usually consider as willpower, though the general conception of willpower fits within this definition. And so I've explained this before, but just to quickly outline it, my idea of willpower, why I named this podcast the Willpower Podcast, is willpower is the ability to bring what I want into the world. So to create the thing that is my will, to exert that in the world. And so often when we talk about willpower, we think about grit and discipline and like doing the thing even when we don't want to. And that's a form of willpower because that's making something happen in the world. In this case, it's making my body do something or making my brain do something that I wanted it to do, even when it's hard. But in a more broader sense, someone who's able to, like, let's say, build a business, it doesn't matter if they're like disciplined or they do it when they don't want to. If they're able to just build a business and they do it super easily, but they make it come into life from nothing, and that was what they wanted, that's extreme willpower. They had the power to exert their will. You can think of any other number, like someone who just like is an athlete and does what they need to do to become great at their sport. That's very high willpower. So I think rethinking what willpower means is powerful in itself because it takes away this concept of needing it to be hard. And willpower is like this thing that some people have that other people don't have. Because the truth is we all experience emotions. We all experience like chemicals in our brain that tell us to do things and not to do things. And if you really want to break it down, we probably don't have free will. Like we're not actually agents that are deciding things. So things are just happening. And so this idea that the people who are better at going up against the hard things, the things they don't want to do, like that those are the high willpower, isn't necessarily like helpful. I feel like that makes no sense. I just put a bunch of words together that don't really mean much together. But anyways, having high willpower doesn't mean that you can just do anything that's hard. It just means that in general, you're good at making what you want to happen. And what else? So girlfriend was in town. That was fun. We're looking into moving back to Austin. So I'm in Austin. She's not. She's looking to move back here. So it's an exciting time. Yeah. I remember I mentioned hurting my pec and I had this whole like 87-day plan. And I have all these different things I was trying to hit and to be like super disciplined on top of them, aim for perfection. And I definitely have missed on a few of them. Like, I don't know. I think with the pec injury, that was the first, like, that took me back quite a bit. Because then it was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit 3 plates on bench. Probably not. And then that also gave me leeway to like push, my way. My brain wedged itself in there and was like, okay, we probably don't need to worry that much about the other ones. So for anyone coming in new, I was aiming for 3 plate bench, 4 plate squat, 5 plate deadlift. Hurt my pec last week, 2 weeks ago maybe, and I have just not been really that focused on those goals. And then the other goals that I also set, I began to kind of just like fade off of because I'm like, well, I'm not doing the main one, so I can just kind of throw this all away. So I want to like pick it up and just be like, kind of just reject the idea that the fact that I probably can't hit one of them means I have to just not do all of them, or that I have an excuse to not do all of them. Like it doesn't have to mean anything. This plan isn't an all-in-one. I mean, how awesome would it be if you could set like 6 really intense goals and hit like 4 out of 6? Like that's super sick. That's like better than what normally would happen if you just didn't set goals. So this idea that I have to hit all of them I think is the hindrance, the thing I need to move past. Meditation has been going well. Again, with the poor sleep, it's hard. It's a lot harder to have like focused meditation sessions. But ever since I deleted Spotify and haven't been listening to podcasts there, I've only been listening on the Waking Up app, Sam Harris's meditation app, which has a lot of like content and like they call it theory. So those seem to be really helpful for me, because anytime that I'm consuming things about meditation, about mindfulness, about like these ideas of understanding consciousness and understanding our experience, and just seeing it in different ways, like just hearing people talk about it is like a good reminder, and it's a good inspiration, and it keeps me in the mindset that this is a thing that's happening all the time. First, like I always have the ability to become fully aware of just how things are and kind of break through the shell of all these assumptions I make about what I am and what I'm consciously experiencing and what I assume to be true and what is just not true at all. And the fact that I'm just kind of a nothing that's experiencing thoughts and feelings and sights and sounds and all the rest. And the app, listening to the app regularly helps me remember that and be able to come into that often. I heard a really nice conversation with Sam Harris and Alex O'Connor. That was one of the reasons I actually just went off of Spotify completely. Actually, this one might have been on the Waking Up app. I don't remember. I feel like it was one or the other. But it was a great conversation. And Alex O'Connor seems to be getting into more subjects of consciousness, though it does appear that he does it from the external perspective, like understanding what it is rather than how it is or the experience of it. So he comes at it from a more academic Western standpoint of like, what is this thing? What is this consciousness? What's going on? Whereas the more like Eastern way of seeing it is like, who cares what's actually happening? This is the experience of it. This is like what it's like to be a conscious being. And this is how you can understand it from your own perspective better without really worrying too much about like what it is, what it means, if it's everywhere, if it's nowhere, like where it came from. And so him and Sam Harris had a really nice conversation where that was just a good one that really gave me a spark as well. So that was really cool. And that fed into a lot of my practice, my meditation sessions, where I was able to come more into awareness of everything, just being. Grooves update, we've got lots of new stuff. One thing that we're really prioritizing right now is the not trying to trick people into getting into trials and just like building a lot of goodwill. I think it's become just like a normal kind of like, this is just how it works because this is what everyone else does and it makes the most money. But the standard is basically like just try and get people to sign up for free trials, knowing that some percentage of them will continue. But it can be a bit of a turnoff. Join an app, start a free trial, have to remember to turn it off, or just have that in the back of your mind now. That's like, okay, I had to sign up for this thing and I'm not really sold on it yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue, but it's still going and it's going to auto renew in X days. So then I got to like go set a reminder so that I don't. So it's just like a negative association. And it's a little bit, it's annoying as a consumer to like have to remember that. Like, I just wanted to try this thing out. Now I'm hooked into it in a way that I didn't want to be. And it removes agency from the user where they get to pick, okay, I'm going to start now. So we're getting rid of that completely. The auto renewing trials, we're just removing them. So basically it will be we already had a built-in free trial that doesn't require any kind of sign up. And then from there, we're going to add on when they get their free gift. So if you complete the Grooves challenge, you get a free month, or you get a month of Grooves Plus for 99 cents. Now, that 99-cent month is not going to be a renewing subscription. Like, that's not a 99-cent trial into a full subscription. That is just 99 cents one time. At the end of the month, it will ask you if you want to subscribe, and you can subscribe from there, but you're not going to be locked in to a subscription at the start or something that you have to remember to cancel. So that's that. I think that will also just save us from having to worry about refunds ever. People just, you know what you're getting. If you buy it, you buy it, and that's that. So I think there's going to be a lot of power in that. And there's a lot, like, we're probably going to make less money because we're going to convince, like, you miss out on that entire group, which is people who just subscribe, who do free trials and then forget. You're going to miss all those people, which, by the way, probably is not a bad thing. That is a way that a lot of apps make money. That is probably not the best way. Like, just thinking about what the purpose that we're going for with this app, the purpose is not to make money off of people who are not using the app. The purpose of the app is to help as many people as possible. So it just kind of goes against that if we are trying to get people to sign up for trials without, them even deciding to actually pay for the app or not. They only do because they're on a trial. So that's something we're playing with. We're not going to do trials. And again, by trials, I just mean the paid, like the commitment or the sign up, which is like a free trial on your iPhone, which is going to start paying a full subscription at the end of the period if you don't turn it off. We're not going to do that. We are going to do trials in the sense that we give them to people, and then at the end of the trial period, they have the option whether or not to actually subscribe at that point. I have a cool guest coming on this week. So next episode, we'll have him on. I think this will be really cool. I got a chance to talk with him a few months ago. We scheduled, didn't work out the first time. Now he's coming back. And I think that this one's going to be really cool. Someone who's found success in this field of consumer apps, which is not an easy place to find success. He's been in the game for a long time. I think he understands it better than I do. And so I'm excited not only to share his story and how he got to where he is, but also learn a bit myself from him. One last thing. I talked with a friend last weekend, and she hosts a walk here in Austin. It's like a bi-weekly walk and talk with the group. And I was telling her how I have this problem where I just don't get back to people very fast on text. Like, it takes me multiple days to respond to people very, very often. Or if I don't respond, then I forget for like a week, or I just forget completely. And then also, I feel like I don't have time to go out and see people. Like, I feel like my schedule is kind of booked the way it is. And she had the complete opposite problem, which is that she is naturally checking in with people regularly, putting herself out, going out, seeing people, planning to do things with people. And basically, we're just at two extremes, which is I am more than happy on a regular basis to be just me. Like, I'm happy in my own world to be doing my stuff, going through my routine, going through my day. There doesn't need to be that much outside interaction. Now, that being said, there probably should be some. I think there's a point of where I go like, okay, I'm like lonely. Like, I haven't interacted with anyone in a while in a real way. But for her, it's the opposite. Like, she naturally is inclined to do those things. And so I think it's just important to notice like what type of person you are. If you're more that extrovert, like who naturally wants to go out and interact, whether that's just like texting friends or actually going out into public often and seeing friends often, and then building your life to make sure that you hit on the other side, the one that's not natural to you. Because for me, like, I have to somewhat intentionally make sure I hit the social boxes, because if I don't intentionally do it, I just won't, because I don't care. Like, it doesn't come natural to me. And the thing I've found to be the most successful for myself is to build in regular, repeated, like, routine around seeing people. Now, I'm still working on implementing this for actually getting back to people and texting people. My ideal state is going to be once a day, I go through my phone and I text back everyone who I need. Otherwise, I just, like, I see a text and it's not the time. Like, it's not the time for me to respond. And so I don't respond right then, and then I forget. And then I think about it, but it's when I don't have my phone on me. And then when I have my phone, I'm doing something else. And then I never remember to respond to that person. So the idea is once a day at a certain time, go through and text back everybody. That's number one. Number two is to schedule regular get-togethers with friends. So make it routine, make it repeated. That's the other big one. I think that's also just like, yeah, for me, that makes it easy, makes it actual, like, more likely it will actually happen, and less burden throughout the week, less that I have to plan, try and continue to, like, stay on top of this thing. I don't have to remember it. It's just once a week I have this thing. So a few examples. Men's group, for me, men's group, this could be any type of group that you go to. It could be like yoga class, something that's like organized by someone else. You just go to it every week. Another example, something I've had in the past that I don't have right now, is some kind of co-working. So it could be a co-working group, something someone else hosts, or it could be like I used to do it with a friend. Every Saturday we would work on our side hustles. That would be our, like, Saturday morning routine. We did that every Saturday for months. We ended up bringing other people into it as well. So it was really cool because I just knew I'm going to see him every Saturday and get to hang out and also get some stuff done, and it just works out well. So that one's good as well. Planning something with a friend or multiple friends happens repeatedly. I know Chris Williamson said his thing is he, like, has the same reservation every Friday night. And so he just knows every Friday he's going to be at this restaurant and all the same people are going to be there. So something like that really, really seems to be beneficial. Good for introverts or just people who are less inclined to naturally go out often and make plans with friends and do those things. So that's probably good for today. Hopefully you got something out of it. If not, sorry again. I don't know why you listened all this way. Have a good rest of your week, and goodbye, everybody.